The market is battling, and the Fed are battling it out a bit at the moment. If you look at the 5s30 spread, for example, in US 10-year Treasuries, they're at 10-year lows. Now, the issue here is the Fed's, the US Treasury curve is extremely flat. The Fed seems to have changed its policy response function. Yes, it's going to pay attention to the data, but less so. And it now wants to get its rates normalised so that it actually has room to cut rates in the next downturn. Let's not forget here, the US expansion, while it's been soft, is actually pretty mature. So the Fed is trying to get lined up here in preparation for the next downturn. That's why we think they're going to continue to hike rates, and we will see a steepening in the US Treasury curve, and that will be supportive of the US dollar going forward.
Okay, interesting thinking, David, and thank you for bringing that those points up, because if I'm not mistaken, the recent flattening of the yield curve has simply been a reaction at the very short end, where it's usually most sensitive to the Fed. That the short end has been lifting, the long end, though, has stayed pretty much pinned, and that is why the curve is flattening.
That's a very good question, and the reason that it's actually been flattening is a fall in break-evens. The market seems to have a lack of faith or trust in the Fed here that it can actually get inflation higher. Now, that is not the only reason. It's not Fed credibility. The plunge in oil prices has actually contributed to a big fall in inflation expectations as well. So, all in all, we don't expect oil to continue to fall. Credit Agricole's call for the end of the year is 50 and 60 the end of next year for US dollars per barrel. And on top of that, we do expect the Fed to continue to hike. Now, in terms of the economic data, yes, we expect the US economy to continue to recover and strengthen. We still believe in a Phillips curve in the US, and we do expect wages growth to actually accelerate and inflation expectations to pick back up. So, all in all, we do expect that re-steepening. We do expect inflation expectations to pick back up and wages growth to pick up.